Hello, everyone, and welcome to Creator Spotlight. I have two phenomenal humans here tonight to chat TTRPGs and life and all the things. And so I thought I would let them introduce themselves so they can say some cool things about themselves because, that's always good. So, Casper, why don't you start?
Yeah, okay, I'm prepared. Osio, I am Casper the Imby Ghost. I am neurodivergent. I'm a Black Cherokee neurodivergent sapphic writer of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror that plays and produces tabletop games, board games, and card games. Now I've expanded. Oh, and video games because I'm learning. Um, yeah, I I love collaborative storytelling, and I'm like hanging out with my friends in the online spaces and in person too, but like most of them are online.
Same. Ava, how about you?
Hello, my darlings and dears. It's your Madam Ava here. I use she, her pronouns, and I am an actual play player. Been in the actual play space for about 3 years, in TTRPG playing for about 10. Um, Usually, most of y'all would know me for fan clacks and glitter, but I'm on vacation, so the fan is also on vacation. So sadly, just imagine the clacking in your brain. And the glitter, it's not going to be four streams just to go around, but don't worry. Imaginative glitter for you. Mwah, mwah, hoo, hoo.
We can green screen
Wish I had a
glitter in
glitter
later.
effect. Such a letdown.
I know, so sad. It's okay. It's with us in spirit.
Right? Always. All the glitter. All the glitter all the time. So let's start out. Casper, you just released some games into the wild.
Yeah, I did. So I am on a podcast called Flyleaf to In Sheets. I am the new co-host. And the episode shout out Flyleaves. Um, check it out. Especially my episode because we were reviewing prequel RPG, which is if you're a baby GM, this system is made for you. In that it makes the players do a lot of the work and you kind of just is that soju? Spent way too much time in Korea. Um And so players do a lot of the work and it's world building essentially, and it's done in 3 acts. And the whole premise of this game is that you're at this final boss and you go through flashbacks on how you got here and what you're leaving for the future. So it's like a great prequel to any campaign setting. Um and in our campaign setting for the game, I decided to create a moon that cracked and dragons came. And then Jellyfish Lanes, my co-host, the one who brought me on to Flyleafs and In Sheets, um, they uh, they told me about this game jam where you have to blow up the moon or do something to the moon. And I'm like, well, I already blew it up and kind of made it dragons. So I took that concept and kind of developed a game about it. And to test myself even further. So like I released this game, which it's just you get a deck of cards and you're trolling through a labyrinth. Um, and to test myself further than that, I have turned it into a text-based writing game that you can play in browser. Because I've been playing a lot more in browser games off of itch at work. Don't tell my boss. Um, yeah, I just have the time, and so I was like, all right, let's try video game writing, and it's coding's a butt. I'm learning, but it's a pain in the butt. Um, and so I have my first version out now, and I'm working on my second updated version. And that's what I've been. It's Jellyfish
But
Lines, not Lanes, by the way. My co-host. My bad.
It's all
So yeah,
good.
that's what I've been up to.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I feel like with the creative brain, especially like now with the state of the world, it's like we have to dive into things right now for survival and sanity and everything. And I think that for me anyway, it's the creating of the games and things like that, but also I've been playing as much as possible. So Ava, I know you've been jumping in on that too. In fact, both of you were supposed to play tonight. So if you're tuning in for that, that's going to be rescheduled, pushing that off to next month probably, just for scheduling conflicts. But yeah. Oh, and actually, I forgot to say at the beginning. So everything that we're doing this month is a fundraiser for Black History Month. So all of the funds go to Black Girl Film School. And if you go to the link that's listed on there, there's you can just donate straight, and then also you can do like hydration, and you can GM and player advantages as well, which will apply to future games. So yeah, I forgot to say that at the beginning. So. But Ava, you've got a bunch of stuff that you've just done and that you've got coming up. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
So I one of the bigger achievements that I've done, which is not a part of the online space, I actually finished an epic campaign that has been like 8 years long. God, it feels so freeing to no longer be in such a long campaign, but I'm very happy that we were able to finish it, and that was with a bunch of friends. But outside of that, I've been actually trying to wind down a little bit more because I did like a bunch of projects last year, but some of the stuff that I'm still a part of, I'm still with Roll for Luck over in Girls from These Worlds. That's their anchor show. And I've been with them since the startup of Girls from These Worlds. I'm one of the like original people there. Um, we just also did a panel for Black History Month over there last Wednesday. So if you're interested, go to the Girls Run These Worlds VODs or YouTube. That will be there. It's a lot of fun. Everyone there is a darling. Um, but right now, I'm kind of just vibing for February. I'm also on a I'm blanking on titles of places. Hallowed Havens for their Changeling game, which is a very new experience. I've been getting more into World of Darkness. Obviously 5e because the older systems scare me, but Changeling doesn't have a 5e yet. So I'm just terrified all the time. Terrified and speaking in a very raspy whisper because I decided to play the one Fae that has a very weird voice and it's murder on me every Friday. But
Oh,
I
Oh,
enjoy it. Uh, for those who
I've
don't
done
know, I play Sluak.
uh, I've done character voices where I'm sitting here like I immediately regret this decision.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
same.
why that's why most of the time it's either like a lower like soothing voice or like maybe the very smallest hint of French, but I'm never doing a whisper ever again after this campaign. It's just too much murder. But otherwise, I'm just kind of trying to relax for February. This vacation I'm on, I'm calling it my vacation for fleeing the states for reparations vacation, uh, because I kind of just have to leave the U.S. for a bit. And even if it is in Canada in the middle of wintertime, I'll take the vacation.
Yeah, I'm gonna live vicariously through you for a little bit.
I'll get back to Canada eventually. I won't go to Quebec because I don't speak French. And from
Yeah.
what I've heard, they don't like that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll stick to Toronto. I can hang with Toronto folks. Like,
Most of the people I've met, like the last time I was here, was very lovely. But I felt like I was telling my partner about it. It's like I can't tell if they're being lovely because they're trying to sell me something, or they do find me and like very very pretty. Because a lot of the people were just saying, "Oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Oh my
mm,
gosh, you're so pretty." It's
well,
like
you
I'll
are so
take that.
pretty.
You are,
So
I'll take
so
that. I
yeah.
can't understand you, but I'll take that.
I can't understand you, but I'll accept this. I'll accept the
Thank
compliment.
you for the praise.
I'll accept
That's
your praise.
amazing. Yeah.
So we're talking about games, and you just finished an 8-year campaign. I'm sure you've got some stories that are maybe something that really was over
I
the top,
think
made you super
I think
sad.
I think one of the things that is one of my crowning achievements is my character in particular never had like a death. So she's been knocked unconscious a couple times, but she never died. We got to level 20 and we finally faced Orcus, and we were trying to save someone. Our health was getting whittled down, and I was the main healer. And like he acted like maybe two people before me. So before I could heal, he looked me and one of the other players dead in the eye. Was like, "We're gonna power word kill you right here." So I literally spent 20 levels just coaxing by. Nothing could really fuck me up, and then a god finally killed me. And so I think that's a crowning achievement that only a god can kill me.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vibes that I want to take into 2025. You know what? All of this shit may happen, but only God, only a god
And
can
not only
kill
that,
me.
it was a power word kill. He had to wait till I was a specific HP
There you
before
go.
he could kill me. So I think that was also a cop out. Should have just killed me with your own dang hands.
That's incredible.
Power word
Meanwhile, I'm
kill.
doing a one shot and playing a Flareon, and I die in my one shot.
See, I was the GM for a one shot on a hack I wrote because I've been writing a lot, clearly. For called Cabin in the Woods. It's like a horror hack of Hometown Holiday. Um and I was like, all of my players just kept getting 10s, 12s, 11s. I'm like, I can't kill none of y'all. I had to get them with like a final jump scare at the end where like uh a deer comes out while they're driving away, and they have to swerve off the road and into a ditch. And I'm like, you know what? It's something. I got two players that way. You have to watch it to figure out who I got. But hey, I got two players. Like I almost killed them with raccoons. Um, there was a headless bride in there too. Like,
With raccoons?
yes, with raccoons. They are terrifying. Last time I was in Canada, I got bit by a raccoon.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sensing
Yeah.
some Canada stress.
Hostilities.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of stories about me in Canada. That raccoon was was after my dog's food. So
Oh,
because I was living on the second floor, and there's a balcony, and there's a tree branch that hangs right over my balcony, and that little mofo just decided to walk into the room while I was streaming. So it's not like I could be like, I see it happening, and then like the second we're on break, I'm hopping over my setup, which is just my laptop on a bunch of computers. No, my laptop on a bunch of milk crates. Um, Again, I was poor, guys. I'm doing better now, but
yeah.
I'm in a better position now.
No
Good for
judgment.
Um,
This is
you.
a judgment-free zone.
yeah, it was just
Mhm.
like, eh. But so I'm like, I hopped over my setup. I grabbed at this raccoon, and it's like it hissed at me, and I'm like, that's fine. Give me my dog's food back. And then he bit me, and I was like, all right, fine, take it with you. And so I had to go get my dog some more food.
I think it thought you were going to be friendly. You
Um,
know,
I'm friendly when you don't steal my dog's food.
So that makes moose, geese, and raccoons for
Yeah,
dangerous animals in Canada. Got it.
raccoons are menaces.
it's definitely a pattern. So, writing, you've been
Yes.
doing a lot of lately. Lately, I can talk. Whew, it's been a
It's
day.
alright.
Yeah. You have
Yeah.
a long history with werewolves,
Yes, yes, I do.
but you've been writing a lot of horror lately.
Yeah, actually, that's I I'm
Where are the
trying.
werewolves? Give us the
Where are the
werewolves,
werewolves?
Casper.
Where are the werewolves? I'm trying to return the podcast that I made a few years ago yeah, a few years ago, into a novel. Writing
Yeah.
novels is hard. Long form writing is a hard little beast.
Mhm.
Um, and every day off, I'm like, I've been trying to become a Twitch affiliate. Like my goal this year was to try and stream every single day. That I stopped. No, like I failed that goal on like day 3 because I got a migraine. And I'm like, I'm not streaming today. Like, bump this. But I'm like
I don't
keeping
think I
track.
have
Just
anything I do every day. I mean, like maybe
Yeah.
brush your teeth, but
like I'm practicing Korean every day because I'm on like a 200-day streak.
that's
Um,
cool.
and then I wanted to try and stream for like an hour, but every time I do stream, it's like I keep track of like the day. I'm like day 13 out of 365, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna keep up this bit to see how many days I actually get.
Mhm.
Um, so it's like it's not super serious, but I'm trying to uh get myself in a way, like get myself in a routine in a way that I'm like just doing something creative for an hour, um to help decompress and deal with everything. Like some days I'm just doing baking simulator, other days I'm actually writing. Um and no, it's not of werewolves. I haven't been um drawn to write werewolves yet. Um because that's how my brain works. My ADHD, if I'm doing it, I'm doing it. If I'm not doing it, then it's like it does not exist to me. I'm getting like I'm getting to the point where I'm like, all right, maybe if I mess around on Pit Crew and like create these characters in a visual way where I can see them, I can get inspired to write again. But werewolves, no. But all these other things I've been writing, yes,
Yeah, so that's definitely a vibe. And your game that you were going to run tonight.
yes. That was Perils and Princesses. I found that game. I don't even remember where I found that game, because I went on a hunt for like a bunch of indie games. I'm pretty sure it was one of the ones that I like kickstarted or something. And it's like a play on all of the princess tropes that you see in like Disney. And I wanted to get a collection of beautiful black women and kind of take them through a dungeon run. It was like, you guys play Disney princesses, fine. Let me see if I can throw trauma and like fun monsters for you to kill your way.
I'm so
Um,
looking forward.
yeah, I'm excited because it's been a minute since I've played with Ava. I've not played
Mhm.
with Taylor and I've not played with Calamity, but I did get to meet them last year because of the Castleton thing. Um, which is fun. And also Castleton's coming to an end on Winter's Tale, which is crazy. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
if you
that's
don't
like
know
a
what
year in the making, right?
yeah, so this is part 2. Castleton is a collection because AJ, who's over at Winter's Tale, came up with this thing, and she had this idea of Hunger Games meets Bridgerton, and I'm like, what?
Oh.
Um, and so she collected 180 like creators online to do this matching season thing, and then we had so much story that we had to break it up into 2 parts, and now this finale, which was only supposed to be 2 episodes, is now getting stretched out into 4 episodes because we just have so much story. And she's been trying to kill a lot of people off in various ways. And it's like that one's
I can
also like a
imagine.
like I would be trying to kill people off every single episode, and then she's trying, and it's like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then there's audience participation where they can like knock out a few like with sabotage like god magic or something, and I'm like, I haven't had to deal with that. I'm just a little guy um who's here for a good time, not a long time, and I'm like, all right, I will be the tiny guy in this story. I'm so fine with that. But like it's been going, it's been crazy, and I've gotten to play with so many people who are just on my that I just follow, and I've gotten to meet so many creators that I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'm here. I'm just happy in here.
That's how I feel anytime I show up at a table.
Yeah.
It's like I just feel like the community is amazing. You know, everybody is so supportive of each other and so creative, and the,
Yeah.
the storytelling is fire. Yeah, I'm always excited to do it. Do you want to give people a sneak peek at your character, Ava, that you're going to be doing for Perils?
Sure. I don't remember the class of princess, but I'm essentially the healer one, the healing touch, I believe it is. Because I like playing support mains. I like being the healer. I like being mom. But her name is Charizard. She is a princess, but she goes by Lady of some vague house. Uh, and she's just a support. Uh, I believe I gave her horns. I think I may have given her horns. Yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
Why does she have horns? Don't know. Maybe it's a
Why
curse thing.
not?
Maybe it's just a people thing. Who knows? But I figured I would give her horns. Just
It's called
to
a
roll
fashion
with it.
statement.
It's a
Yeah,
fashion statement. It's a vibe.
I have 5
But
pairs of horns in my closet.
you see, I feel like I need to. So I'm a very big celestial ASMR type of person.
Mhm.
Uh, I specifically looked at them when I was first making my like my first D&D character, which was the Epic campaign, and I was saying, what's the opposite of what all the other gays are doing, which were tieflings? It's like, oh, you have angels? We're doing angels. So the other end of the religious trauma for gays.
Yep.
See, you're like an angel healer. I'm a shifter fight you from a distance guy. Like I will throw shit at you. I will hit you with arrows, but I'm not gonna get up in your face and like I might cure wounds. Be like, all right, you're there, friend.
Like
Yeah, I
of
very
my
rarely have healer.
Mm.
of all my long form games, most of them have been. I have a total of three Ace Mirrors as my mains for like just all the long term games I've had. The one that I just finished, two other D&D campaigns, and then for Roll for Luck, surprisingly I didn't go Ace Mirror, but I went a different type of weird celestial, Ganassi, and she's a paladin, so that has the celestial vibes in there because Ganassi and paladin. There you go, hands
There you
clean.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Did you go
I
air?
Yes, I did. Well, originally she's air, but we ended up homebrewing to make her lightning because that's her dad. He's a dad, like lightning. What's oh my god, what's the name of the actor? I'm
door.
blanking.
No.
Winston Duke from the Black
Oh,
Panther movies. So we
yeah.
basically were like, this man is Winston Duke who throws lightning around. That's fine. Don't think about anything else.
Hell yeah.
Well, when Winston Duke is throwing lightning, you don't have to think about anything
Yeah,
else.
that's it. Don't question it whatsoever.
It's just a thing that happens.
It's just a thing. We're moving on.
That's incredible.
Hmm.
I don't think I've had any really long form campaigns other than like so I was on a channel called Tabletop Titties. We're kind of taking a break right now. Um and we have like year-long campaigns, but they're not multi-year campaigns.
Hmm.
I don't think I have the attention span to do multi-year campaigns. That's a lot.
I being in this one, I realize I can do long-term campaigns like this. I just don't want to because I want to be able to do other things with my life. So I'm willing to do medium to long now. So I have one that's going to be in the works with Fusca starting in March, and that one's supposed to be at least until like maybe September-ish.
Okay.
The Changing the Dreaming one, I believe that's going to be seasonal. So this season's supposed to end in March, April-ish, and then take a break for the rest of the year, come back next year and repeat, rinse, wash, and repeat type of vibes. So
Nice.
that type of scheduling I can be a bit more okay with.
Yeah, I'm on a medium campaign on Girls Run These Worlds.
Yeah.
It's a dark one. It's
Surprise, surprise.
Bell
I mean, your GM is
Bellinite.
Angela, so
Yeah, no, so I'm not GMing this one. It's the Ink Weaver system, and it's the type of system where like you go into it knowing that your character is going to die. It's very easy for characters to die, but they don't die permanently. It's like you reset and respawn and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So this is a really harsh world we're living in, and I play the most emo of like I am the edgiest, like, "Don't talk to me," kind of character, and it was absolutely unintentional, but that's how they're coming out, and I'm like, "Ah, whatever." I'm also
That's how it works, though.
yeah,
They just come out.
yeah, this character, I don't know where they come from, like, in me. I think it's, like, my very late middle school, early high school days where I was listening to just only Evanescence and and dressing in like huge trip pants and stuff, shopping or shoplifting from Hot Topic, kind of vibes, and I don't know. I'm enjoying where the characters growing into because they're starting to get on my they were starting to get on my nerves. It's like I because when I make a character, I stay true to that character, and some of their decisions are like, I know you would do this, but like Casper's thinking you should not do this.
hmm hmm
So it's it's hard to navigate that when you wanna you know there's a choice that your characters like would obviously do, but you know it's terrible for them.
I feel
But
that.
yeah. It's like, so how do you navigate those kind of situations where it's like Ava's thinking, "Yeah, no, this would be a terrible idea. Like we should not fight God." And your character's like, "No, bet we can do this."
The main trick is have them lean a tiny bit into what you think of so you don't have too much conflict. Most of the conflict I have is, wow, this is happening with my character because I'm feeling this type of way. I should probably go to therapy. I'll do that eventually. But I think right now in one of my long-term campaigns with my Ace Mirror, uh what I'm doing with her is after this particular arc is finished, I'm putting her on a hiatus. I'm having her take a sabbatical because she is so obsessed with murdering wizards because of trauma reasons. She hates all wizards that it's getting to the point where she is willing to go to an orgy club that is run by one of the top vampires in the city that they're in, with no ramifications as to what happens there, just to get her to kill this lady and maybe also have an orgy at the same time. It's very toxic. It's very bad. I'm stressed out for her, but but she has everyone else stressed out for her too. But I've been slowly putting in like pieces of her mom has like family that are like they migrate in different locations. So she got into contact with an aunt. So I'm moving to have her keep in contact with the aunt, and then eventually her aunt's gonna be like, "You need to go on a sabbatical and relearn some stuff. You're coming with us." It's like, okay, cool.
You need a break.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I love her to death. I love her toxic energy. She can do no wrong, but it is stressful, and I'm starting to feel bad for everyone else on how stressful she is.
Yeah, that I get that. Um,
You're
So
working on
like
your
take
own
breaks from
trauma.
your characters sometimes. Just take
yeah,
breaks.
that's true. That's a good option. Getting like I try and play characters that are different because I like to stick to a certain mold. Like give me a ranger every day of the week. Give me a shifter like twice a week. It's like so I try and play off of like I guess the way that I start, I don't think of like a lot of backstory or whatever. I like giving my GMs enough freedom to be like, yeah, fuck my character up, dude. Um this is their vice. Tell me why. Which is not fair to a GM speaking as a GM. I'm like, thanks, but it gives me like an open door to mess you up in any kind of way. Um, but like as a player, I stick to like certain tenets of my character. Like the one vampire, the masquerade character I have that I absolutely adored was Belgium Jerry. He fought in a lot of wars. He is a fighter. He really good fight. Um, he also has a mustache and a bowler hat and a vest, and is like a 6 foot tall black man, uh, who loves to drink but can't drink because he's a vampire. These are things that I and then, like, his backstory ended up being he used to fight like, he fought a werewolf, and that's how he got turned into a vampire because he impressed some lady, and I was like, "Yeah, he was fighting to impress a lady, that makes sense for my character." Um, and, like, his trauma, like, it comes from him being a soldier and being in countless conflicts and everything, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, love this for that guy." And,
Mhm.
like, getting to play that, like, all the ups and downs, like, he can be goofy, but then he can also be, like, my sad boy, um, was very it's very interesting to try and find the different kind of vibes you want for your characters, like,
Mhm.
character moments. Because like, I have yet to come across a GM personally who doesn't give me the space to have, like, a profound moment for my character. And I truly appreciate that, just as a player. So I guess where I'm leaning is, do you have like moments? Because you're, like I said, I'm only in pretty like medium length to short campaigns. You have long form campaigns lasting like 8 years with specific characters. Like
Like that's a
what's a
lifetime.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
lifetime, especially in D&D. Like that's a
Yeah.
lifetime. So like what like what are some ways that GMs have given you like space to have your own character moments and stuff like that? Like, do you talk about it beforehand or do they just happen in the moment?
Yeah, I always try to talk about it beforehand and then also while it's continuing on, because what I've learned from my epic campaign of 8 years, I didn't really talk to my DM much, and the times that we did talk, uh, it was stuff with dealing with the trauma of the characters in ways that could have been done better, but it was their first time being a DM. It was my first character and like this type of grand scale. But from that, I've learned how to move and communicate in different ways with people. So, like the game where my character has to take a sabbatical, that DM is a white man. But the way that the story and the environment works, I wanted to use it as a way to explore African spirituality, like Black spirituality, in a world where spirituality and religion is heavily frowned upon and it will get you killed. So having her be very in tune with the spirituality of like her ancestors, then also being an asmere that also leads to people wanting to sacrifice you to a cult because people are weird in this campaign. I had to work with him to make sure that some things were not overstepping and some things were not taken out of context in that way because in that type of system and with Black spirituality and just culture in general, it can get mixed up if you don't have communication. And luckily, he's been a very, very good friend to me and known me for years. So he's like, yeah, I'll work with you. If something goes out of bounds, you have to tell me. And he knows I'm willing to cuss him out and call him out on his bullshit if need be. So it's been helpful talking with him and making sure that things are explored in that way. And if I can't do that with any other GM or DM or storyteller, then they're not really worth my salt, really. You have to be able to work with your players in that way.
Hmm.
That's beautiful that you had that experience.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think trust in general is just the most important thing at a table, and you don't always know if you have that right away, so it kind of can take a little bit to build that up, but especially during that long term. I haven't hit 8 years yet. I think I'm on 4 now. um, but during that time, for that short time that you're at the table, once a week or whatever it is, you're playing someone other than yourself. So it's like this dynamic of they get pieces of you because you're having those conversations in between, but for the most part you're not yourself, you're this character that you're playing. So I just think it's an interesting dynamic and how you work through that, especially with difficult topics like that where you want to make sure you honor it.
Yeah.
It's
Casper,
also
you've been, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, it's also very nice to know that, like, you have a DM that's gonna be comfortable enough with you, like, calling him out on bullshit and stuff like that, to be like,
Mhm.
"All right, you done fucked up, A-Rod. Like, this is the line."
He
And
knows he knows I can fuck him up. I met him in person officially last year for, like, a wedding, and for years before I met him, I said that I was gonna fight him in a Denny's parking lot. We didn't make it to the Denny's parking lot, but when we first met, I did football tackle him to the ground,
bet
and
that's
he's
how
like,
you establish
"I
Incredible.
respect
dominance.
that.
You're
I
good.
respect that."
Establish dominance. You went right to your wolf pack.
Yes.
You
"Okay,
can't
you're
help it.
cool now."
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I didn't mean to cut you off, Shannon. What were you gonna say?
No, you're good. Keep going.
Oh no, good.
You're done.
On the
I
spot,
just,
Casper.
right? I just love the nuance because, like, I don't know about for you guys, but when I turn into the character, like, I'm the character. Like, it takes
Oh
over.
yeah. Um,
So,
sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
I was just
no, go
gonna
ahead.
say that's why I keep interrupting. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's what we
That's
do. Keep going.
I was
It's
gonna
all
say
good.
that's why I try and get into, like, every time I'm get into like when I get into character, I try and dress up for it. So like I have a specific outfit for my emo baby for Girls from These Worlds, the Belle and I situation. I've got my different outfit for my Castleton dude, who is just a himbo. So he's like he's wears a vest and is shirtless underneath it. So I'm like, all right, let's go, dude. um
Bring it.
so it's like, yeah, like I try and get into character myself, um which would be easier if I didn't have these headphones, because I like just putting on a hat and being like, all right, now this gives me characterization. I can tap into this character now. And my hat for my big old vampire boy was a bowler hat, so I'm sitting here like, "Ugh, now I'm into character." It was all lopsided and everything. I was like, I'm doing my best here, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to work around those headphones,
Yeah.
but you
But
need them.
do you guys dress up for your characters? Like,
I
Depends on the character.
Yeah,
that
like,
makes sense.
I try to at least do inspired looks. So, like, for Roll for Luck, with my character Samir, typically I wear a white curly wig for her because her hair is white, like cloud type of
Yeah.
hair. Uh, so that type of wig I specifically save for her. I don't have a lot of wigs in my collection, so it doesn't get divvied out too much. But I also have a big head, and so when I wear extensions, I can't wear wigs anymore. So then I'll try
Mm.
to do at least makeup that looks kind of inspired by my character. And then with clothes, we'll get as close as we can get, but usually not. And so if I'm not able to, at least there's cleavage to show. And that's as best as I can do. My
Hey,
character will
use
always have
Right?
cleavage, so I can at least
use
always
what
show
you
cleavage.
got. Hell yeah.
Do you bring the glitter for every character?
I try my best to have some type of glitter. It's either going to be the eyeshadow, it's going to be the lipstick, or it will be, depending on the type of character, I will put body glitter on, but it will always show up in one shape or form.
Nice. I only dress up from the waist up.
Yeah. Same.
Sometimes I do too, but sometimes it's just a dress, so it's technically a
Yeah,
full
there
body.
is that too. I have like a robe on one of them, and I'm just sitting here like, well,
I was in a Star Wars inspired one shot for like the pa- um oh god, I'm blanking on the name of the studio, but Calamity
Fantastic.
Studio.
Okay.
Uh, but they were doing a Star Wars weekend to raise money, and it was in response to like all the racist people in Star Wars not liking black people.
Mm.
And I had a robe that I got specifically, and it was a very beautiful tan brown. So it looks like Jedi robes, but it's a fuzzy robe. And I wore that in July.
Oh,
The sacrifices
and
that's
you make for
dedication.
characters.
And so I'm just sweating with a wig on, this big ass robe that's just all fuzz. And it's just like, I am dying. And in between breaks, I'm just going to have the robe off. I'm going to breathe. And then I'm going to put it back on. And we're just going to roll with it as best we can.
Yeah, I never had like the big fuzzy robe, but I did have like a bomber jacket that was like
Mhm.
very like it was I was a pilot in space, and just like this was my character's one thing. So it's
Mhm.
like there was a jacket, but then it was in the middle of summer, and I'm sitting here, this is a
Yeah.
mistake. Underneath these lights next to my computer, it's very hot.
The sad thing is, it's one of those robes that kind of look like Hollywood glam, the widow
Mm.
type of robe. So it's like a velvety type of
Oh
fuzz. And
no.
then because it has like the cuffs and the way that it billows, I was just dying at the end, but I looked good doing
Look, that's what's
it.
That's when
important.
you
And
turn the
that's
AC
all that
way down.
matters. Yeah, it was
That's when
full blasted
63
AC.
makes sense.
Yes. I have
Yeah.
a
How
roommate
low does
and
this
she was
go?
oh yeah, we like I had a roommate and luckily I think she was at work during the time, so she wasn't miserable miserable while I was suffering.
That's excellent. Oh
It's
my
so
goodness.
fun though. Like sometimes like that's just the extra that you need, to like take the character to the next level. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love
I
getting into character.
yeah. I I in general just the cosplay stuff and everything, but I'm fairly new to the, actual cosplay. For the most part it's
Mhm.
just like I'll throw on something existing or whatever. So like I'm using wigs and stuff like that now, which I hadn't before. And you don't realize like all the little things that go into it. So I'm always like mad props to everybody who puts on the full outfit. I'm just putting like a wig and the shirt, the top half. I didn't
No,
even doing
Right.
the bottom yet.
yeah, no, I get on some streams with some people and they fully transform into like water genasi and shit. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I got this from my closet. I'm a closet cosplayer, so hardcore.
Yeah,
I cannot
really.
with like makeup and stuff. Like I am dating a cosplayer. And they can go full out like make wigs from scratch and stuff. And I'm sitting here like,
beautiful.
cool. I've got like this black marker that I'm just gonna put on my face right here. Yeah, and there we go. Look, makeup me. Ha ha ha. Um, and that's
I
about
feel that.
as deep as I go.
Yeah. When you do your voices, do you practice ahead of time or do you find out when you first speak?
Most of
um,
the time it's first time speaking.
yeah,
Same.
okay, so unless my character has a relation, because so in the Castleton thing, my character's brother is Zach. Uh oh, I forgot what his thing is, but I remember his first name. It's Zach. And he decided to choose like a Scottish accent, and I'm like, why it gotta be Scottish though, bro? Um, because if it was Southern, I can knock that out the park. If it's Cockney, any kind of English, I can knock that out the park. Is she? If it's Irish or Scottish, I'm sitting here like, dude, no, why? No. So for that one, I kind of just stuck with my own voice and did the parentheses like in the thickest Scottish accent. I say this because I can't physically do that accent, not consistently and not in front of people. Um, like I can spend all day practicing, And I have. You can ask my partner. I'm sitting there listening to how to pronounce shit in Scottish to try and do it, and I'm like, I can get it for this little vibe, but as soon as I get in front of these people, I guess it's a little bit me being intimidated because like these are content creators that I look up to, especially in this space, like in the tabletop space. And I'm like, imposter syndrome. I'm not gonna do my accent. I can't. This is just really bad. Um,
It's scary to put yourself out there too.
yeah, but if it's like if it's an accent that I am used to, well, like, or most of the time, it's like what Ava said. It's just like I'm feeling that this person has this accent now. This is where we're at.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Maybe
like
you went to school in
huh?
a completely different place. That's why your
Yeah.
accent was different.
Yeah, well, I did. It's like I was trying to have like a dramatic point um with my character because they did move away and the family relationship is estranged. Um where like that's why I spoke different regularly. But I wanted to have a character moment that brought them back kind of to their childhood is why I have this accent. Um or is like bringing out this accent in me because like when you go back home, where
Oh
like
yeah,
if you've been gone for forever and you go back home, that accent, those mannerisms, they all come flooding back.
yeah. I
um
don't even have to go home. I just get on the phone. I'm from
yeah,
Massachusetts. It
exactly.
comes out
Yeah, they
hard.
have it. You feel it and it's just like,
Hmm.
well, and I was kind of having one of those moments with my character. It's just I couldn't commit to the bit. I couldn't do the accent and it makes me very upset. Um, but it's fine.
I
It's fine.
have I have a vampire character who technically goes through two different accents. There is the southern drawl of New Orleans accent that she has when she's presenting to like most other people, but because her sires were from the Middle East and the other she's a Banu Hakim, uh, and all the other Banu Hakim around her are also from the Middle East. She takes on like a hint of an Arabic accent when she's around them, but most of the time I just end up losing both accents and just speak as myself. But the characters understand. She has her dialects.
See, I was
Yeah, that's my
doing
struggle.
yeah, I was doing one where it was with Foxy on Neon Lights role play. Um we were in a mech campaign and it was a little it was going longer than we intended. So it's another long form campaign we did. Um and my character was undercover. So the undercover was like hella deep south southern. But their true accent
Which sounds like
was
what?
no.
Respect.
um I could do it. It's no problem. But like their real accent was hella posh, like English, which is really easy to do
That's
because
funny.
Southern is just really, really deep and you go like real slow with it. It ain't that hard. And then posh is like just higher and you're just, you know,
Yep.
just
You have
talking.
to float a
It's
little
fine.
bit.
You have to float and like live with
Mhm.
it. That's
Be
that's
very
my accent word.
fancy.
Thank you. Thank you. I did a thing.
Woo, woo, woo. I wish I had glitter for that too. I need to work on some effects. I feel like I need props.
Yeah,
I would just like
well,
somebody to run the stream, and I'm gonna
that.
need
Mhm.
props.
uh,
Start somewhere. What is your least favorite thing about TTRPGs or prepping for them?
Thinking of characters.
Really?
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
m- more often than not these days, I tend to lean into the I'm v- it's something I'm very bad at. I like to fill in spots where it's need to because if
mm,
not, I'm just going to always just be a support healing type of person. And so because of that, it is either waiting for everyone else or I'm going to just fall back on default, which is going to be a noble who has celestial ties that likes divination, specifically tarot cards, because I like to draw tarot for my characters. Uh,
Love that.
but and so when that happens, like, okay, if I do have to play this default, what flavor of the month type of vibes am I going to do with this default character? Then I have to look up names because I also am the type of person who will look up name meanings. I have beyondthename.com on standby all the time for characters.
No, same.
So people who play with me, if you look up my character's name, you'll find a hint of what type of character they are because of behindthenames.com.
But I love all of that for cuz like so my characters don't I don't play casters at all. I do my best to stay away from casters. It gets too complicated. I get too confused. I am just a simple, humble boy. Um, I'm just a fighty boy who's good at instigating things, and causing some sort of chaos. And but I do like to go behind the name. That's why I picked Quartermain for one of my characters because like it stems from armor that soldiers wear and stuff like that, and that's how I played that character. Belgium Jerry was literally like that one was the least thought out name. It's like, oh, where was the first Oktoberfest? Belgium. Cool. All right. What year? That's the year he was turned. Okay, cool. And Jerry because Belgium Jerry sounds funny. Like that's where I went with that. So I can run the gambit of like, yes, this character has dripping with meaning and symbolism, and like, no, that one just sounded funny. I think for me, it would be as a player, um, anything that has to do with like intrigue. I'm not if I have to try and be sneaky and double meaning, I'm too autistic for that. I play all of my characters the same way. Like I say what I mean and I mean what I say, and that's just a tenet that I have in my life. So I can't play a character who's all super sneaky with the words and like no, but this is what I truly mean kind of situation. I was like, no, I'm going to
Mhm.
take you at face value. If you say you're a bad guy, then you're a bad guy. Like I'm not looking for like what you might mean after that. If you say you're my friend and you're acting kind of shady, then I'll be like, are you my? I'm going to trust that you're my friend, but eyes. So trying to play any kind of intrigue is not my favorite. Um, as a GM, it's prepping literally any encounter.
Yeah.
It's like furthering a story I can do. I can lay those breadcrumbs. Prepping encounters and balancing them out, like mm, if it's D&D, I can work that fight no problem because it's just math on that end. It's very simple formulas. If it's monster of the week and I want to make it interesting without wiping you completely out, that one takes a little bit more work for me. I'm not gonna lie, because it's all dependent on like character roles and like it's
Mhm.
not oh you beat my AC kind of situation. It's like you fail. Oh, it's the mixed successes. Something good happens, but something bad also happens, and I'm like, I miss the you did it, you didn't do it kind of thing.
You like
So it's
the, the either or
yeah,
rather than the nuanced.
I like the either or of D&D, but I love literally everything else about Monster of the Week.
Wonder if you could just mod your monster of the week.
I'm thinking about it. That's kind of what I did with uh the cabin in the woods situation. I'm gonna keep working on it because like it being a horror setting, it's not a romantic comedy like the original game is. So Hometown Holiday, it's not lower stakes. I'm not saying these are super high stakes, but like I'm actually trying to kill your characters. So I think like there needs to be a mechanic that deals with somewhat higher stakes, but it's pretty much like you roll it, you did it, you didn't do it. Um, and that's what I that's it. But everything else about it feels very monster of the week, and like I build the sandbox, you play in it, kind of thing. So I was like, all right, yeah, bet, let's go. We love it.
Um,
Breaking down
we
why I
are,
like Hometown Holiday so much. I did not realize why.
yeah, no, that's good. Talking about it, I think, just helps with the development process of everything.
Mm,
You don't realize the stuff until you're like not thinking about it. Like you're
that's
talking
true.
about it from a different perspective rather
Yeah,
than like analyzing the game, like with the
y-
pressure of that. But yeah. So we're coming up to our hour.
that's true.
So before we sign off, is there anything specific that you want to talk about that we didn't talk about? Obviously, it's Black History Month. If there's things that you want to share with people on that, you have the floor to do that. And if you don't, that's also totally fine too.
Um, The only thing I'll promote is tomorrow is going to be Roll for Luck on Girls of These Worlds. That's going to be pre-recorded, so enjoy the shenanigans that happen with that. But also just follow Girls of These Worlds for the other events that we have for Black History Month. We have an ongoing game on Fridays. There's a creator panel next week, and then the following week is going to be another spotlight panel. Outside of that, I think the only thing I'll say is if you did not understand Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, you need to do more education because it was the Black experience televised. Um, and it was not made for some of y'all. And if it's not made for some of y'all, you need to educate yourself a bit more. Other than that, reparations for the Black people. Give money where you can.
Starting with the
Well,
charity.
Yeah.
yeah, this is starting with Black Girl Film School because we do need more Black women, not only in front of the camera but behind the camera as well. We need more writers, producers, like camera people, grips, all of them. Um, yeah, just put more Black women in the industry. Tell our stories without the trauma, please, because we have more stories that are not just about us being. There, we have more stories that are not just about Black pain, but we also have Black beauty. Um, yeah, I guess that's my shout out. I know Apochromatic Unlimited is also doing an entire month for Black Girls Rock fundraisers. They're hosting panels. I did my game over there. If you want to check it out, please. Their donate link is going to be up all month. Them hosting games. I don't know their exact schedule, but if you just go over there and look, they've got so much just happening this month. Imagine if I know is still doing stuff this month. Um, yeah, and yeah, that's all I got, guys. It's,
What do you mean all? That's a lot of stuff. This was a great hour.
I'm trying
And
to
yes,
fill out my bingo card, okay?
right. And yes, we do have stuff coming up next week. Meadow is going to GM. Very excited about that. With Bree, Taylor, and Keon. So that's going to be absolute fire. And they're doing a Brindlewood Bay. So they're going to play a bunch of old people who solve mysteries. What could be
Brindlewood
better than
is
that?
a fun freaking game. It
Yeah.
I highly recommend everybody play it. Go watch that one first to see how crazy it'll get. But just imagine like the Golden Girls solving mysteries.
Yeah.
It's that vibes.
It's incredible. I have played it. It's so good. And that group is going to just light it on fire. Very excited about it. And at some point, the two of you will be back to do Perils and Princesses, which is also a phenomenal um TTRPG. So that'll be fun. I look forward to see how you play that one. And thank you to the rest of you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you as always. And the link in my bio will take you. Actually, it's on the main page, it will take you to the little form if you want to be on the show. You could be on the show. If you want to come hang out with Casper and I, where we do Challenge Accepted on Mondays, where we talk about the TTRPGs that we're making and help others with roadblocks and things like that they might have. You can use that form too. And yeah, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.